Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my life. And in today's video, I want to talk about habits. The reason that I want to talk about habits is basically I'm filming this video during broad daylight uh, because I did not film it yesterday, but yeah, it's got me thinking this morning about habits. So I thought, okay, let's talk about habits. And this is something that I've been thinking about a lot. I mean, on and off, because it's been over a year since I've started developing some habits that are important to me, important for my health, important for my personal growth, and basically all of the areas in my life that are important to me. And um, basically, I have been away for a bit, and that has got me to really step back and take the time to appreciate things that, like, basically the life that I live here. And it's got me excited about, I don't know, YouTube again and filming these kinds of videos again. Which basically at some point I kind of got it kind of got redundant where I didn't like I don't know, it just kind of felt like the same thing. But now I'm starting to notice this thing in my habits where I'm starting to get to the point where it's actually starting to change my brain. Uh, and I've noticed it in basically my ability to come up with stuff. So, for example, with this channel that I've been, well, basically with these videos that I've been filming every day that I'm here, except on the days that I film two because I didn't film one the past day, is that basically it has gotten easier and easier, and my brain has started to optimize for it to some extent. And I'm starting to notice it a year or more in, right? And it's like we have to like I have to like this is the first time in my life where I've spent so long doing the same thing over and over again, and hopefully I will keep it up for longer. I started to notice that my brain has started to optimize for the habits that I'm training. So basically during the day, my brain is optimizing for what I'm going to talk about on this video, because basically I've committed to myself that I am going to film one video a day every day that I'm here, with some exceptions obviously, without being too hard on myself on the days that I don't, and I film it the next day, and also taking a step back to step out and not do this for a few weeks when I'm traveling. Kind of also reminds me of how much I enjoy it. And so basically, I've started to notice that literally my brain knows that now, okay, this video is gonna happen, so I might as well figure out what I'm going to talk about during the day. And the same thing for my basically my story-worthy moments. So basically, I've been, I think it was the longest one that I've done. Actually, it's my longest habit, which is writing out some story-worthy moments of the day from basically Matthew Dix's book of the same name, basically Story-Worthy. And I started doing that, I think in September 2022. Yes. And basically now my brain, like that's where I've noticed it actually. My brain is starting to optimize during the day, like taking mental notes of what's happening, because I know that I'm going to have to remember it in the evening when I'm writing down my story-worthy moments of the day. And basically, it's something that nothing happens for a long time, like you still have to keep at it and stay consistent. But there is some point where, like, that's farther away than we could possibly think. It's not 6 months, it's not 1 month, it's not 21 days. It's so much farther than we could possibly think where basically your brain switches into this mode of shit, I need to figure out how to do this in the most optimal way. And I think that's where the exponential power of habits comes in, right? And basically sticking with one thing, like committing to doing something for a very long period of time, like committing to doing something for 10 years, and for the first 2 to 3 years, like at least I've not reached yet that point yet, but at least for the first year, like month by month, right? One day at a time, and basically proving to your brain that, guys, like, hey, brain, I have committed to do this thing, and I have followed through on this thing for the past whichever time. So you better start optimizing for this thing because this thing is not going away. And that's where the magic happens, because basically you teach your brain to optimize for the thing that you wanted to optimize for by not breaking the commitments that you make to yourself, and committing for a long enough time horizon for your brain to realize, shit, I need to figure out how to do this thing well, because this person is not gonna stop. and and basically it starts to make you better and better at whichever thing that you've committed to doing. And this is something that, I don't know, I've just been thinking about, and that I think is genuinely amazing. And basically that I'm trying to incorporate, like, there's this thing, and this thing of the inflection point when it comes to habits is that there is this thing where you say to your brain, hey, like, I'm gonna do this no matter what, so you better start optimizing for that. That's the one part of habits. The second part is which is what gets you to that point, which is basically an inflection point. So for example, this is a habit that I've been trying to build. I've been trying to put in some cream in the morning when I wake up. And basically I have this on my desk to be seen, like, right when I wake up. I get up from my bed, I go to the restroom, wash my face, brush my teeth, and all of that stuff. And then when I come in here, the next thing for me to do is to put on this cream. And so basically I've noticed that there are inflection points, right? You will see it someday and you will think, I don't feel like putting this cream on today. And it's on those days that it's the most important to put it on, because basically you're teaching yourself, like, if you don't, you're teaching yourself to ignore those internal signals to do whichever habit that you have committed to doing. So for me, I have had, like, when you get an internal signal to do something that's aligned with whatever you said that you were gonna do, and decide not to do it, that's when things go bad. But when you get that internal signal to do the thing that you committed to doing, and you do it, your brain says, okay, this person is serious. This person is, like, serious about putting in on this face cream. And that's why I'm so, like, especially for new things that I'm trying to build, I try to be so diligent about them, because I know that the moment that I ignore one of those internal signals to go through with whichever habit that I need to go through, that's when basically I cement the fact that this habit is, like, this habit is not going to stick, at least not right now. If I try again in a few years, maybe it will. But it's so important, these inflection points, to resolve the inflection point by acting in accordance with the person that you want to become and with the habit that you want to build. Yeah, that's what's, like, that's what I've been realizing. And these are, like, just some of the thoughts that I've encountered, right? Like, just thinking about this and, like, noticing in myself these things, like being self-aware, to be being so self-aware to be able to actually notice these things. And yeah, that's those are the two things that I wanted to talk about. Habits, basically the first thing is like I will do it in reverse. But the first thing was that I talked about. I'm not gonna do it in reverse. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that at some point that's so far away that you could not possibly know what's that point, right? For me, it's starting to get to that point. After 1 year plus of doing these things, your brain starts to optimize for the habit. And that's when the real, that's where when the real benefits kick in. And the second one is this idea of to get to that point of reaching that point, to get to the point of reaching that point, to get to the point of actually experiencing this this thing where your brain starts to automatically optimize for the thing that you have committed to doing, you have to follow through on the smallest impulsion, like the smallest impulses that you get to follow through on this habit, the smallest internal signals to do something. And if you don't, you will never get to that point to get the habit to stick. And at least it's not we will never, but at least not at that time. You're basically pushing it away even further. And yeah, I just find this so fascinating, and I've been literally noticing it in my life, and just thought it would be interesting to talk about this. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Habits. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm gonna go work, and yeah. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel as done right before this one, or you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.